Okay, I want to go over a few highlights from last night. Uh, on the code helps, enabling offline mode and enabling configuration on demand will help your Android speed up as far as faster in the deployment of that code when you're running it and compiling it. So for the offline mode, you're going to go into Preferences, and do File, Setting, Preferences. Go to Build, Execution, Deployment Gradle, and turn off the Gradle. Offline work. So it looks like this right there. And the way that you want to do it is basically in Android Studio, make sure you close out any opening projects that you're currently in. Then go into Android Studio Preferences to set these settings. So again, this setting is Gradle, which is found here. The other setting is the offline mode, which I just talked about with Gradle. Then configuration on demand is in the build, execution, deployment compiler. Make sure configure on demand is checked. It will help speed up the compiling of your program. Auto imports, file other default settings. I'll open up this from last night. This one is the default setting for auto imports. So make sure that is checked on the auto imports. Once you check the auto imports, make sure your screen looks like this for what's checked. The show import pop-up, add ambiguous imports on the fly. Make sure the show import pop-up for classes and static methods is checked. And once those three are done, when you go to run your app, it's going to be much quicker on the compile side of things. We won't have as long a build on the Gradle side, and much quicker. I also want to talk about, for just a second, the compiling of your simulators. Sometimes they will remind you that it's going too slow, and you might need to refresh your simulator. Basically, what you're going to do on that is go to your Android Studio, on your computer. On a Mac, it's here. Windows is in a different area, but it should be in your Windows directory. It'll pop up for you. But here's Android folder. You'll notice grayed out, meaning it's a hidden file. So Mac users will need to unhide your files to see this. And if you don't know how to unhide your files in a Mac environment, you can just Google that, and there should be a script to help you. You just type in unhide hidden files Mac, and the terminal command to run, to unhide, and to hide. So basically this command right here, put that in your terminal, return yes, hold the Alt Option key, right click on the Finder, restart it. Then this will show all hidden files. To hide hidden files again, you'll write this one. I leave mine shown all the time just because there's many times like this I have to access hidden files. So I'm going to open up the Android folder, and there's going to be in here a whole bunch of different files. You want to be careful what you delete, but the AVD is the one that has all your simulators in it, and there's the Nexus one that I have on mine already. And all you do basically is make sure that this is, I'll go ahead and exit out of it to show you. And also too, if you get these warnings about hard-coded text, do not worry about that at all. Those are carried over from the days of Java. No big deal. Alright, so I've shut down the simulator. Now what I want to do is highlight this Nexus, move to trash. Now we'll have to go, when I run this again, notice there's no connected devices. We'll have to go in there and add in that Nexus 5 again. Hit next. I've already downloaded it, so I'm going to select that one again. Click finish. Take a second. Now it's added. Doing a clean boot. Welcome message. And it should be launching now. There we go. I'm going to come over here to Android Studio and stop the app from running. Go back to the emulator, and you can now access your apps on the emulator. Also the app that you just completed. There it is right there. Okay, so I want to show you that. And then a couple other things I want to show you as far as GitHub. We showed last night the version control tab, going over here to GitHub and logging in to your GitHub preference I recommend the token version. Hit Create API. Then you'll log in to your GitHub repo. Hit Test. Make sure and click Apply. And then click OK. Now you're able to use GitHub, and we'll talk more about that this semester. The other thing we went over is exporting your file. Exporting to zip is there. On building your app, as far as exporting the APK for the online play, you want to go here and do a build APK. While that's running, I'm going to go back to our course. Module. And go to the test app online. It's week 2 assignments. I was having the wrong folder. Download week 2 assignments, app, build, outputs, APK. Now let's try this one. There we go, that one works. Okay, so that concludes all the stuff, main stuff we went over last night. It pertains to setting up Android Studio. This weekend I'll be installing Android Studio in the lab and give you the lab hours, but make those changes that we went over with in the help document of the course, the code helps, which I updated. So we went over all those changes and the preferences, how to rebuild your simulators, and also to export your APK. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.